what you want, entropy, whatever. The whole world is decaying right before our eyes, aging, dying. It's going so fast, we don't even notice it.
I noticed it's even worse out there. Everybody's at each other's throats.
That's different, okay? That's not our fault. That's because of something that happened 10 years ago.
Like what?
But I'm going to tell you something. I haven't told anybody, okay? This is really important to me. You ever hear the Mandela effect?
You're gonna tell me anyway, so.
So just listen. It's named after the fact that millions upon millions of people swear that Nelson Mandela passed away in prison in the 1980s. So there's a discrepancy between historical record and what people remember. And there are countless examples of it, especially in popular culture. Okay, Darth Vader never said, "Luke, I am your father." Okay, Hannibal Lecter, Silence of the Lambs never said, "Hello, Clarice." The Monopoly Man, okay? The Monopoly Man never wore a monocle.
Nice.
No,
he did.
No, he didn't. The theory is 10 years ago, we split into a parallel universe, a darker one.
Frankie, what the fuck are you talking about?
No, I'm not alone on this. The effect explains why society is acting so crazy, why it's become so divisive. Okay, multiverses or time travelers or powers beyond our control are making us act this way. It's not our fault. We're being manipulated. People think that it's hackers or that it's propaganda, and it's not.
Bitch.
I know.
I could have sworn he was wearing a knife.
Okay, here's one. And I swear to God, this is true. You remember the comedian Sinbad, right? Okay, Sinbad made a movie about a genie. Now, I saw this movie. Do you understand me? Now, people are saying it was never made, but I'm telling you, I saw it. I can see it in my mind's eye. I can see it at the video store, on the shelf.
I believe you, boss.
Please, shut up. Shut up. I'm talking to my fucking brother. Get out of here.
Right, yeah. What's up, people? It's Remy Please of Flightroom TV. This is another episode of Overtime with Flightroom TV. I'm your host again, Remy Please. I'm with Corey Moe, Lighthouse, and Keys.
Y'all? What up?
And obviously, right now, we're talking about the Mandela effect. You know, something like some people call it conspiracy, some people call, I don't know, paradox, whatever. Some people call this shit false memories. Off the break, what y'all think? Y'all think it's false memories? Is it like a collective, disconnect? Or is this something that, you know, possibly could be happening? A shift in the timeline?
I think it's a combination of a bunch of things, including everything you just said. I think a lot of it, I think sometimes narratives on certain things can change over time. So I think, like, you know, let's say in 1992 something happened and there was a general, like, you know, idea of what happened at an event. Then let's say, you know, 15 years later, there might be a news story, and the news story might actually tell you a completely different thing that happened in 1992. But because that narrative has been said over and over and over again, now, you know, 15 years from whatever that is, what's 15 years from 1992, 2007, then from 2007 going forward, we go from that narrative that was created in 2007 by something that happened in 1992 going forward. So because the narrative changes and because everybody repeats that new narrative, all of a sudden now we think that's what actually happened instead of what originally, you know, happened back in 1992. So I think things like that happen all the time. Narratives change just you know, just based off common ideas, you know, that happen every now and then. So yeah. I mean, that's just one example.
Yeah.
That makes sense. I definitely agree with that. Yeah, because what they say, if you tell a lie long enough, it becomes the truth or whatever, you know.
Past 2 years.
Yeah, I agree with that. I also agree with like I'll take it another step further with like the conspiracy theory with like time travel and all that. Mm-hmm. I think if time travel is possible, and I guess if we've already discovered it, you know what I'm saying? And of course they're not going to tell everybody about it or whatever, but if we have discovered a way to time travel, and like how they say it's always in the movies, if you go back in in time and change something or whatever.
Ripple effect.
It's a ripple effect. I feel like it could be, yeah, the Mandela effect could be the result of like if we actually do have if we actually can time travel.
Like little differences you do
Yeah.
has an effect, like on a like Back to the Future type shit.
Yeah, I feel so because like in the movies they'll say if you do too much or whatever, you meet yourself, you know, you could fuck up everything or whatever. So I figure like they'll just to say that they have time travel or whatever, they'll change some little stupid ass shit like the Bernstein Bears ain't the Bernstein Bears, it's the Bernstein Bears or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Or mirror on the wall wasn't mirror on the wall, it was magic mirror on or something like, yeah. So
Yeah,
I think they'll do little stuff to keep it safe or whatever.
I think that
what was that, Snow White?
yeah,
Yeah.
I think that well, first things first, the more we understand, the more you realize
We
that you
don't.
don't understand a goddamn thing.
Yeah.
And that's I don't really know how to, because there's so many different perspectives and takes you can take, because there's a scientific aspect to it. And you could talk about, you know what I'm saying, parallel universes and also, you know what I'm saying, quantum physics and stuff like that. But then there's also the, like, if you want to be I don't know, like what if like our awareness based off of everything that we've been going through, you know what I'm saying, the way how corrupt the government is and the lies and all sorts of shit, what if like we've become so like detached from our reality that we actually live in, that our awareness of certain things, they can change shit right in front of us and we don't even know it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that is a problem if
Yeah.
that is the case, because that means we're easily like, they're just sliding shit past our noses and we aren't even aware that this shit is happening. And if it's something as small as two E's being in Febreze, but the whole time it wasn't, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what else are we missing? You know what I'm saying? That they have going on behind the scenes. And I don't know. It's a scare. It's scientifically, it's amazing. It's like, oh my God, like the possibilities. But then when you keep it real, that shit is scary, bro. Because it can be what are they doing really? You know what I'm saying? Like, what is really happening?
Like the brands and the movies is like evidence, but what is really going on like behind closed door?
Right.
Like, or even like if if they're changing like news headlines and the like how they doing it now in reality in present time, they'll change news headlines. Is that actually changing reality for the future? Follow what I'm saying?
What you mean, like a reprint, a misprint?
No, if they're deliberately changing, like something comes out in the news, say like I don't know, a small city gets bombed, and they're blaming XYZ. But if they change the players involved in like a 24-hour news cycle, is that changing? Is that changing reality?
I mean, yeah, kind of, because they changing the narrative and how we probably perceive things. You know, it's all about perception at the end of the day. So if you change the headline, you change the way people perceive things, and then you change the reality. As simple as that.
Yeah.
But what I'm asking is are they making a correction, or are they just completely like just throwing some new folks in there? Or whatever?
Are they doing both? I don't know.
Yeah, it's probably a combination of both.
Okay.
But see, it's tricky though, because it's like, you know what I'm saying, these are memories we're talking about. All right, so if we're talking memories which exist outside of time, then it's just like, all right, so we have to take our perception of time into consideration when we're talking about this, you know. And that's not an easy thing to talk about, because everybody has their own perception of what time is. You know what I'm saying? An hour to me may feel like 30 minutes, or an hour to you may feel like, oh damn, you know what I'm saying? Like somebody might look at the clock and be like, damn, it's only 3 o'clock. Damn, I've been here. It felt like I've been here for like 3 hours. And it's like, I felt like I only been here for about 15 minutes. The perception of time is different for everybody, you know? Damn. So does that mean like the Mandela effect? Does that mean that what you thought it was that actually false though?
That's what.
I
Yeah,
mean,
that's like the biggest question.
That's
like,
the question.
Psychologists say,
yeah. Go ahead.
to like combat like the whole Mandela effect theory. Psychologists say you're having false memories. Like you thought something was happening, but it was actually false, and maybe the collective thought of people kind of push that.
I mean,
that sounds close to brainwash. That sounds.
I mean, you ever heard of the term gaslighting when like somebody will like literally say something to you, and then you'll be like, "Wait, didn't you just say that to me?" And then they'll completely tell you a whole fucking lie, knowing they just said something, but then they'll sit there and say they didn't to fuck with your head to make you think that what just happened didn't really just happen, and you might actually experience that with people that you might meet on a day-to-day. So I think even on a large scale, they can do that to an overall population. And then then all of a sudden start to play with your head, like, hold on, like maybe I was looking at, like maybe that is what happened. Maybe what they said happened is what happened. And then, you know what I'm saying? And then that process, I mean, that thought process, that new creative thought process just goes into the future. Just because somebody told you that what you really thought you saw, they making it seem like that didn't really happen.
Nigga, that's scary, dog.
But people do that. There was a movie where a dude was, I forgot the name of the movie, where a dude was gaslighting his wife and was like making her believe that she was like dying or something like that. And she was like, no, I'm fine. And he was like, nah, but for real, you're like sick and dying of cancer. Like he kept convincing her so much to the point where she actually started to believe that she was like dying from cancer because he kept telling her that lie so often to the point where she thought she was going crazy. So,
but isn't that like also real. like hypochondriacs? You can like literally make yourself sick if you focus on, you know what I mean, the ailments and all that shit too. So like, you know what I mean?
An idea is nothing but a seed, you know what I'm saying? If you plant an idea in somebody's head, that shit can eventually grow and grow and grow until they actually start to believe that shit, you know?
So as a collective conscious, and everybody's thinking on one thing, you can literally change reality in present time
in a second.
One thought. So
yeah, there you go. Bingo.
And if enough people start to believe, like nowadays, because of social media, you can have a post and say it had 40 million likes, you know what I'm saying, about some shit that happened. And just because you see 40 million likes, you're like, oh, this shit must be legit because this many people agreed to this comment. And it could be a complete fabrication. Nobody even saw that shit, but they can just put out a post and say 40 million likes, and your brain, because you see that 40 million likes, will accept that as true. You know, just shit like that.
That's true. Rez, you did that shit just happened earlier. You just like, oh, that joint only got 90 likes. Okay.
Oh yeah,
that's fake news. Same shit. It's true though. That's so fucking true. That is so fucking true, yo.
All right, so like, is there any quote unquote Mandela effects?
I was about to say real quick. That's what Jay-Z said. We don't believe you. You need more people.
True.
Been on that.
Yeah.
Been on that. Go ahead.
Yeah. Is there any Mandela effects or examples that you were like, all right, yeah, something's going on? I think with us in our generation, and you seen on the thumbnail, it's the whole Shazam movie with Sinbad.
Yeah, that was crazy.
They say this joint don't exist.
Yeah, I could see if it maybe somebody else or it was a different name of the movie, but not a whole movie just non-existent. Because I seen that movie.
I know I seen that shit.
I seen that clip right there.
That movie 100% existed.
And they saying,
where we get the picture from?
Right, and he's even.
That's what I'm saying. Shit, they make this shit up.
That don't make no sense.
I don't get it. That's like like all these other like, you know, logos and stuff. I could see like maybe like they had like the Fruit Loops on and shit that I posted early on Instagram with like FROOT and, you know, fruit, how you normally spell it. Like I'd be thinking like when it be like brands and stuff like that, like you got to spell it differently because it's not actual fruit. You know what I mean? So you got to spell it FROOT.
Right.
Like, a lot of like janky brands and shit like that spell shit differently because it's not actually the real thing.
and they getting sued.
I do remember Pikachu having that
The
black,
black tail, the black on the
the
tail.
black on the
Yeah,
tail. Though I ain't gonna lie to you.
we watched that cartoon growing up. They, I don't know
I
where the hell they got that.
I know that to be
And
true.
then Chick-fil-A. Ain't it with the C?
It's with the C for
Yeah, with the
sure.
C.
Yeah, I always remember it with the C.
It's with the C.
I
Yeah,
think with like brands is it's like kind of weird because they got like kind of like as far as like trademarks and shit, you gotta follow a certain
but okay. What about the Star Wars joint? The Luke, I am your father.
right, legit. And
What was that? What happened with that? What was that one?
you said no, I am your father, some shit like that instead of Luke.
Oh, instead of Luke, I am. Where?
Yeah,
Yeah, Ben's been saying that for years. How the hell?
right.
Yeah,
But is it like this though? You know how like when somebody will quote something all the time and you would hear them and you never seen the movie and then you end
instead
up
of
seeing the movie and it sound completely different.
they paraphrasing and
Right.
playing
Is it like
telephone.
that?
I don't know. I don't know.
Nah, it's been too many. We don't. I think we didn't even had a Simpsons episode. I feel like, and they said something like "I am your father," whatever. You know what I'm saying? Nah, that one. And I done seen the Star Wars. Nah,
Do
I
you
remember
think
that
that
shit.
do you think that this could be a psyop in itself though?
Yeah.
Like, what if this is just more illusionary? You know what I'm saying? Just more shit to
I don't
make
know
you
about
think
like
that you crazy. When in all actuality, you got all your wits with you. But you know, I don't know.
I think the weirdest shit is like not like the brands and stuff like I was saying, but like when you just like even with the what was that Queen song like the We Are the Champions
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
and at the end it's like of the world, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? They saying
Yeah,
that shit never happened. Like when it's like music
bullshit.
or stuff like that.
Man, nah, that shit happened because I was in
Yeah,
that what's it called? The Dream Team, the little
Mhm.
Damon Dash joint where
The
I think
champions,
Just Blaze sampled that shit, and that
yeah.
part
It
was
doesn't pay the
100%
full
in that song.
contract. Yeah.
huh.
That shit was 100% in that song. So
Doesn't
I
pay the
know
full
I
Yeah.
got
contract.
that shit in my head.
Yeah.
It's
I listened
tattooed
to
in my
that
brain.
song too many times.
That
It's in
shit
there.
was in there. That shit is in
It's
there.
in there.
So like that should be weird. So is that a result of like a time because they saying like all this Mandela effect happened in the year 2021 as a result of Cern, you know, doing experiments on the Hadron Collider, Super
Mm-hmm.
Hadron Collider, and
Hmm.
supposedly when they changed the weight of an electron in that experiment, it had a ripple effect or a domino effect, and supposedly ended this universe and transferred this universe to another universe. So there's slight differences. Like
So to a
there's a
parallel
bunch of
universe.
parallel universes or multi universes and shit like that, and it transfer our shit to another shit where shit is slightly different.
I, I mean, first of all, I don't think that we should be fucking with no particle accelerators. You know what I'm saying? Like that's. I mean, like what is okay? Their purpose for doing that is they're trying to discover dark matter and open small, very small like
You're trying to create the
wormholes.
moment where
Little black holes and
the,
stuff.
Like
the,
I
the
like
Big Bang right after
I
that
just
happened.
don't think that that's like ever a good thing. Like in any movie that I've ever seen, that was never opening portals was never a good thing.
Isn't
It
that like
never ended on a good note.
isn't that kind of like all what you believe in though? Because they saying like they trying to recreate the moment right after the Big Bang, but if you don't believe in the Big Bang, then now what?
I mean, listen, listen, it's a lot of unknowns, and it's okay not to know everything.
Mhm.
You know, it's okay. We don't like I for one don't see how recreating the Big Bang is going to affect or help out poverty in America or
I know.
poverty on this planet. You know what I'm saying? Like those are those are like meaningless things to me. I mean, I just don't see the end game to that.
And it's a lot.
How's that helping the actual humans on this earth?
Yeah.
Maybe I don't know what it's doing. Like I don't know. I don't know.
Knowing where you come from.
Mm-hmm.
How what you talking about? Them doing that is going to give us a indication of where we came from.
For how life
Yeah, I guess trying to
life
create
is created.
Trying to create a simulation to see,
Mm-hmm.
just testing their curiosities, I guess.
Yeah. So they blow some shit up.
Right. Like there's no way to there's no other way to know how to know whether you fucked up. You see what I'm saying?
Until
Like
you did.
until you did. You know what I'm saying? And like that's probably one of those ones that you gotta be right 100% of the time.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's just like how like I used to wonder like how the hell do these BMX guys and skateboarder dudes like learn how to do these tricks without like breaking every bone in their bodies, right?
But somebody had to break their bones.
They had to break
man.
a couple. Yeah, they had to break
Like
a couple.
a bunch of L's had to be taken for the next man.
All them Apollo missions.
But this is the ultimate L though.
Mm-hmm.
The collapse of the universe.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta break
Ain't
it,
no
break
coming
a
back
couple of
from the
eggs to make an omelet.
collapse.
Oh yeah, bars.
You just collapse the paradox, my nigga.
Mm-hmm.
You just Thanos everybody.
Yeah.
You just went Thanos and just finger snap.
All right, so let's look a little bit into Cern itself. Man, it's a little bit small. But CERN is like started in 1954 in Western Europe. Acronym CERN originally represented the French words for the Council Européen pour la. Don't fuck me up.
Yeah. Love the accent.
So it's 12 European governments, and I think Israel is also part of it. Yeah, well, this started in the 50s, so this is like all right before like the space race and shit.
So they started in the 50s.
Right.
They started building the collider in the 50s?
Well, I just guess the whole.
Or it's just the company
or
whatever.
Yeah, alliance or whatever.
The alliance, yeah.
Think of my favorite word, gravity.
And this is their logo. Obviously, that is a 666.
Obviously.
This is
That shit blatant right there.
right underground. This is the whole collider. That big circle.
Nigga.
It's like a whole city.
Do you know how?
I thought it was bigger than that.
Look at this. Big as shit. What the fuck? That's like
No, is it maybe because I'm not seeing
PG County.
Okay, yeah, I see yeah, because I thought it ran in like different countries, a bunch of different countries or whatever.
Nigga, that is. You know what? The thing about it, it's got to be that big because of how fast that bitch is going.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Yeah.
That look like some shit in a game I can play on Destiny or some shit.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like something that belongs in space. Not down here.
This is on their website. Extra dimensions, gravitons, and tiny black holes.
Tiny black holes.
What are they doing?
Now I will tell you that black holes and all of that shit, like that's a lot of energy is emitted from those things. Like it takes a lot of fucking energy to do what they're doing. They could literally like one wrong calculation on it's a wrap. It's a wrap.
They got some show on Netflix I was watching. Not a show, but a documentary or whatever. They was talking about black holes or whatever, and they were mapping black holes. And I forget I forgot the name of the big ass telescope where everybody aligns their telescopes on Earth or whatever. I forget what they
The
call it.
new one, the new
What you call it?
telescope.
Huh?
It's a new telescope.
No. When everybody aligns all their shit, so Event Horizon, that's what it's called. Event Horizon, some shit like that.
Yeah, that's and you seen what happened to them niggas?
Yeah. Yeah, no, not the movie though, but
I was
that's
gonna
what
say
they
that was a
call
movie, right?
yeah, not the movie though,
Lawrence
but
Fishburne was wilding on that joint.
not the movie, but the real shit though, real shit. But they was mapping like how they was trying to map how black holes actually work and show like how we always thought that once shit goes into a black hole, it's gone forever or whatever. But they were showing how like some shit actually comes back out or whatever. And shit. Definitely check it out on Netflix or whatever. I forgot the name of it, but just search black holes on that joint. Pretty interesting shit.
I mean, think about it. They're trying to recreate the very moment that the universe was born, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you know how much energy that was?
All of it.
Who paying for that shit?
Yeah,
Who
that's a
paying?
good
Who
question.
paying that electric bill?
Right.
Don't know.
That's a lot of fucking energy,
All right.
bro.
So
And you want to recreate that?
some of the achievements since the 50s. I don't know what half of the shit mean. Discovery of neutral currents in the Gargamel bubble chamber. Discovery of the W and Z bosons. Uh, Anti-hydrogen atoms.
Boson.
Bosons. Okay, in 2012, this is like when they said this shit, all the shit happened. A boson with mass around 125 gigashits, consistent with the alongside Higgs boson. All right, so
What if the Mayans was right then?
right.
What if the
And
Mayans was right?
don't that kind of look? It kind of look,
Mayanish,
yeah. This
Mayan
kind of look
calendarish.
They
as
do look like it. Yeah,
yeah,
I can see that.
like the size of it.
Picture it
Mhm.
in rock.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Like
I
shit.
never thought of it like that. Huh? That's crazy.
Yeah. All right, so some people think that okay, so the Higgs boson particle, the so-called God particle that Stephen Hawking once warned could result in the universe undergoing a catastrophic vacuum decay.
Mm-hmm.
At this point, there's already one notable inconsistency with the theory. It was only it yielded some evidence the particle discovered the years. Okay, so they're trying to debunk this.
Catastrophic vacuum decay. Okay, interesting.
Maybe CERN accidentally created a black hole that sucked us without us even noticing, and we've just been living in it.
But what's the evidence
Or
of
been
that?
moved to a parallel
And the
universe.
evidence
Is that what we're
is,
saying?
yeah, the evidences are these slight changes that we see.
Yeah, that's the Mandela effect.
Mhm.
Apparently, where shit ain't what we
But
thought it
we all
was.
but we do also always say, especially here on
Shout
OT,
out to Nick Hinton.
that you know what I'm saying, like
I
as far
do.
as this us living in a simulation, if you think think about it from that standpoint, these are
Hmm.
just glitches in the simulation. You know what I'm saying? Like, what if these are just glitches? Like,
Mhm.
Could be.
these are just errors. Like, oh shit, it was
But
this way.
wouldn't it like if that was the case, wouldn't we like even just more than just words and titles? Like, wouldn't even people be scrambled the fuck up? Like, wouldn't like niggas' arms be over here? I mean, shoulders. I mean, like legs be on their shoulders, and you know what I'm saying? Like, how come people physically came out fine? My name is still spelled the same way. You know what I'm saying? Like, not like, but it's like movies change, titles of like restaurants change, but it's like, you know, what about like the history of your life? You know,
Right.
was your mom born on a different day? Did your dad have an extra E in his name? Like those things never seem to change. It's only like, you know,
Well,
public shit that's changing. You know what I'm saying?
well, I see what you're saying, but like Stephen Hawking said, it's a decay, and we can't put a timestamp on how long that decay actually really is. So who's to say? Just like a virus, when it first attacks your computer, you might not even know you got a virus, but guess what? It's over time that finally it gets to the point like, yo, this shit is fucked up. You know what I'm saying? But whole time it might start off with, you know what I'm saying, your internet running slow, but then the next thing you know, like you can't even boot the motherfucker up, and that might happen a year or so later. You know what I'm saying? I don't know.
I'm just saying, but it's not, what I'm saying is it's like just it would, I feel like it would be hitting everything, like everything would be affected, not just.
What if you had like a childhood memory that you can recall, and then like maybe your sibling can't recall?
I mean, but that happens all the time.
Yeah.
You know, like nigga, you don't remember?
You don't remember that time when you told me when we was 6? You know, like that shit happens.
To kiss your ass, huh? You remember that?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Nah, that's though, Lighthouse. That's what I was trying to say earlier. Like that's why I think if like time travel is possible, that's why I think they go back and change like insignificant shit, such as like the title of a fucking book or some shit like that.
Man,
so it doesn't fuck everything else up. You know what I'm saying?
Have you ever played Assassin's Creed?
Yeah, I love that game. Matter of fact, I just watched the movie for the first time finally, and I used to love the fuck out that game. I finally watched the whole thing. That shit is dope.
He was like he was a Knights Templar, and they used to send him back, you know, in the back in history. He used to change shit.
He was kin to a Knights Templar.
Mm-hmm. Right. And he used to change events back in the day, like in those, you know, Jerusalem type days and stuff like that, to change the timeline as far as now.
Yeah. You know what? It's funny you bring that up though, because it's like I've heard many of people, and I think everybody else has heard other people say like if you can think it, if you can fathom it in your mind, you can do it. You know, and if we can think of some shit like that, somebody can think of a fucking machine that you can fucking go back in time and change shit or whatever. I'm pretty sure. You know, I'm pretty sure we're not gonna know if we've gotten there already, but I'm pretty sure that we can get there at some point in time anyway.
But what if it's not even like your physical?
If we can fathom it.
What if it's not even like your physical self, like you? I don't know. Like you just using like an avatar, like you're using somebody's, you know, flesh and bones. I don't know. I'm just thinking.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah,
because like we're looking at we're thinking about reality.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It's kind of funny. We think of perspectives or reality as like a physical thing when it's all mental.
So what you mean, like jumping your consciousness into somebody else's body or some shit? Like
no, I'm just saying, just the mere fact the Mandela effect itself is all mental. If you didn't like you mentally took that memory or picture or whatever it was that you thought that it was, and they're telling you that it's not, right? It was just that's your thought. You know what I'm saying?
But Shazam, like I remember going like Blockbuster and getting that jump.
I definitely remember watching that jump.
I mean, I but that's what I'm saying. But that's still a memory. That is still thought. You just said I physically remember. That's a thought. That is your thought. That is not something that is physically attainable, unless you can go grab your memory right now and show it to me.
Mm-hmm. That would be a good business to get into.
True. And
somebody thinking of it.
Reference that Loki show, and I keep telling people about it, but they always talk about like this, the sacred timeline, like the middle one. That's the sacred timeline. You can always branch off and like do some wild shit and, you know, cause ripples in it. But that middle one, that's the sacred timeline. They always try to get people to do. And like when shit was like going like that red, like little strain right there, they would get like alerts of people going off that sacred timeline.
Yeah, that's Dr. Strange right there.
Interesting.
And these were the timekeepers, those 3 reptilian looking motherfuckers.
And I think that's who Dr. Strange got to go answer to in that new movie.
So that's a show or a movie?
Be fucking with the reality.
I recommend that jump. And your boy's at the end of it. Tick from Lovecraft. Yeah.
Hold up, from the show?
Yeah, he's
like is he the playing the person he was in the show, or
Nah,
he just in the? Oh, okay.
he's king in that jump.
Damn, they need to finish that show. Lovecraft was dope as shit. I can't believe
Amazon
it.
need to go and pick that up, man. Yeah, I got the money. Pick that shit up.
Yeah, man.
But yeah,
But does this also mean that we as a society or as humans have issues with change? Because shit changes all the time, right? Like, okay, there was I thought it was a movie, but now it's not. Is it that big of a deal to you?
I
I
mean,
mean,
yeah,
it's one thing when somebody just straight up lying to you. You know what I'm
Right,
saying?
right, right.
I mean, it's like okay, Shazam existed, and somebody's like, nah, well, in this new version of the universe, it didn't exist. It's like, well, if they say so, it was like, nah, nigga, that shit existed. You know what I'm saying? It existed. You know,
So with my own two eyes, yeah.
like at a certain point, you lying to yourself when you, and that's that term gaslighting. It's like, oh, when I was 6 years old, I was riding on the bike and I fell down. I scraped my knee, and the fucking scars right there on my knee right now. That happened when I was 6 years old. I'm sitting, some nigga be like, nah, that happened when you was playing basketball. It's like, no, nigga,
Nah, nigga.
I fell off a fucking bike, and I remember the pain. I remember everything that was involved with that. I remember my mom coming out from that address on the fucking, that apartment building we used to live on, 992 Amherst Avenue. I saw when she came down, that was a fucking fact. They were like, nah, nigga, that happened because you went ice skating. Nigga, I never went ice skating a day in my life. Why are you trying to tell me that's what happened? You see what I'm saying? So it's like, nah, some shit actually fucking happened.
They said you was out there figure skating, man. Come on.
Like, no, nigga, I've never skated a day in my life. Bro.
I've never
This is like, no, I fell off a bike.
So if they could do that,
what we got 30,000.
So imagine what. So what does this do to? If this is true, then what about so how does this affect religion?
Hold up. 1 second. Hold on. It's 30,000 of these Cern shits in the world.
There's 30,000 large hadron colliders.
What the fuck?
Maybe not as big,
but it's 30,000 these motherfuckers.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy, huh?
What?
They running them joints on equinoxes. Like, come on, bro.
Probably, yeah. And they probably on ley lines and all type shit.
Shit. This is news. This is news. I didn't know this. This is
so it has to be some type of collective around the world,
30,000 accelerators.
This is news, because you can't be. I don't know what the hell they doing with them joints, because but I don't know how close they are to each other, and y'all trying to
stuff like that. Maybe that's where all the these cryptids and shit be coming from. You only see because if there's Sasquatches out here, you know what I'm saying? Why the Sasquatches not having kids and shit? Maybe it's just one off. They pop in and pop out. You know what I mean? Or UFOs and shit. They pop in and pop out. They come through these little portals here and there. Demons and stuff like that. They pop in, they pop out.
So interdimensional peoples.
Yeah. Huh. Because if it was you know what I mean, how's a Sasquatch going to be recorded in history hundreds and hundreds of years? How are they having kids?
And then nobody.
Yeah. How do y'all know each other? Unless you popping out.
Yeah, because they definitely not getting hunted out this joint, so they can't be endangered species. So, what is it? Is it a family of 5? That's it. That's just been running around this motherfucker.
Exactly.
It's so crazy because when you read that last part, it says, and because they are an occult organization, they are running them on the equinoxes, and at times when they believe they stand a better chance for opening doors for the demonic to come in. How many movies have we seen where some evil person or group was trying to get some evil spirits to come in, and they use this big ass machine or something that opened up portals that allowed the demonic spirits to come through. This is some shit in the movie. It's crazy.
Is
You
that
know?
remember the Ghostbusters joint when they were
Yeah, that's what I was thinking about.
the ghost?
Ghostbusters. Yeah.
Yep, at the top of that
Stranger Things.
apartment
Stranger
building.
Things.
Yep.
Is
Same
that
thing.
Stranger Things? Yep. Like 9 times out of 10, it's probably not a good look.
But it's so crazy because it's always
Stranger
demonic spirits.
Things.
That's always on the other end of that shit. It's never
Nothing
like
good ever
it's never
come
it's
through.
never it's never nice spirits.
Right.
It's always some evil shit, you know.
Because you like we always say, you got they have to ask for your permission. If the nigga's standing at the door and you gonna open the door, like
Right. Oh, why? Thank you.
right. They
Thank you,
standing
good
right
sir.
at the Hadron Collider exit, and y'all just opening that shit.
But I wonder, like, is it like, are you trying to create chaos? I mean, obviously, it seems like that's what the intention is, because these demonic spirits might come through on a different dimension, but then they might, enter somebody's body. I mean, enter somebody's spirit. Take over, and now you got some more demonic people walking around the planet, just giving being host to these spirits that they letting through. And it's like you might see somebody bug the fuck out like on the street. It's like, nah, nigga, that's one of those demonic spirits that Cern let through, and that's why that nigga looking
Right.
like that. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
shit is crazy.
All right,
I
funny
wouldn't
you
be
said
surprised if they
chaos.
was funded by the church, like the Vatican or some shit.
Of course,
I
all these,
wouldn't be
all
so
these.
yeah.
I wouldn't be
would not.
surprised.
Yeah,
All
I'm
these, yes.
with you on that. With you on
Yeah.
that.
But you said chaos, right? So, I could be wrong, but in their little courtyard, this is they had a little ceremony, a ritual. This is their courtyard at the Cern campus, and that's the
Shiva.
Shiva, which is a goddess, right?
Mhm.
And they also say she's the goddess of chaos.
Listen,
And they might probably try to just straight up summon Shiva and her demonic minions. You know what I'm saying? And just sending chaos through a spiritual, realm out here. You know what I'm saying?
but like, all right. Correct me if I'm wrong, right? Why would a bunch of scientists who are building a particle beam accelerator dress in all black and stand in with hoods in front of this statue like this in this ritualistic manner? Why would they do that?
Because it's probably an exact ritual that you need to do to contact that spirit.
I know, but I'm just saying. I was being facetious. Like there's got to be something crazy going on there. It has to be. Look at this shit.
Who conducts?
Everybody's got their lab coats on under that joint.
And how you just get into this type of shit? Like just summoning spirits and shit. Like how you just get into that? I guess if you go down the rabbit hole deep enough, then you start getting involved in shit like this, I guess.
But isn't that like kind of like the bridge to everything?
What you mean?
So,
like the spiritual world and the scientific world, like kind of having like a marriage in between that.
Yeah.
I mean, isn't like science kind of what explains?
Yeah,
it kind of like explains spiritual stuff and like the physical, like in the way we can interpret it on the physical level. Like, isn't that kind of what science is?
Yeah.
All right, let me read this. As a symbol, Shiva is a brilliant invention that combines in a single image Shiva's role as creator, preserver, and destroyer of the universe and conveys the Indian conception of the never-ending cycle of time. Shiva's dance is set within a flaming halo. The god holds in his upper right hand the Damaru hand drum that made the first sounds of creation. His upper left hand holds Agni, the god fire that will destroy the universe. With his lower right hand, he makes the Abhinandra, the gesture that allays fear. The dwarf-like figure being trampled by his right foot represents a Pasmara Purusha, illusion which leads mankind astray. Shiva's front left hand pointing to his raised left foot signifies refuge for the troubled soul. The energy of the dance makes his hair fly to the sides. The symbols imply that through belief in Shiva, his devotees can achieve salvation. This is, I don't know all that. It's kind of like, I don't know. Who are these people here, though? Do they subscribe to it? It's creepy with the hoods.
Was it? Is that in India?
Nah, this is in Switzerland. Where's Cern at?
Oh, where? Shiva straight out of India. I don't know.
Yeah, they presented that to but
What if like the black holes, like what if these wormholes or portals, like what if those are like the angels or God's way of imprisoning those demons or those demonic spirits? Like what if like the portal itself are like as like the door, right? He like, you know what I'm saying? But we're opening the jail cell for all of the convicts and murderers and shit like that to infiltrate, you know what I'm
Never
saying?
thought of that.
You know what I'm saying? Like God put those there. Like this portal is closed. The only way this can be opened is through some sort of spiritual, you know what I'm saying? Like
Summoning.
it's exactly a summoning that you should not be fucking with. This is not of your place. This is not something that you should be doing because this is of God's work, not man. You know what I'm saying?
But isn't that like kind of with that story of Pandora's box, where like that it was like something where like sin was allowed into the world because I think like Pandora opens like some forbidden box she wasn't supposed to open, and then when she opened the box, it allowed like sin into the world. So it could be like a similar type of thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So something close to that. But I mean, it's true. We've seen that in like these sci-fi movies and shit, where it's like always a portal where there's like some spirits on the other side, and then somebody opens up the gate to create chaos. You know, and it seems like that's probably what the you know.
It's
Because chaos creates confusion, and then when you have confusion, it's a lot easier to control people. When they're confused, they don't know what to do. Somebody has to give them direction, and boom, boom. Now you got a bunch of sheep, and you can just, manipulate them at your will.
So I wonder if I don't know, because I don't know.
Cern is home to half of the world's particle physicists and the biggest particle machine that has ever been built. The Large Hadron Collider, or LHC. Inside this pipe, two beams of protons are sent hurtling around a nearly 17-mile loop before being smashed together to create subatomic particles.
That's the dumbest shit of all time.
The energy is converted into mass in the form of thousands of particles. Although most will be ones we already know about, the hope is that undiscovered particles might also...
Yeah, I still don't know how, like, you get numbers out of that.
You're not supposed to unless you're a physicist. I love it, man. I love science. This shit is. I always love science. This shit is crazy.
But you do know, they're trying to get. If you believe in God and you believe in the scriptures, it tells you that God created the universe.
Mm-hmm.
That's how it was formed. So if you're looking in this direction and you're trying to figure this out, that means that you completely believe that this is not the work. The universe is not the work of God. It's the work of energy. And
I don't think that. I think they're trying to figure out the how. I think they're trying to figure out the how. The how. how it was created. Yeah. Because it's a lot of scientists that do. There are also a lot of scientists that don't believe in God. But I think at the end of the day, I think they're trying to figure out the how. They think, they exactly. They think they can build a machine and create.
Created
Uh,
their mini
yeah,
universe, basically, just create
exactly.
a mini universe, literally. And
Yeah,
I think part of that, I think maybe the reason why is because you know how they say as above, so below. Everything is a
yep,
microcosm to a macrocosm. So it's like if you can create your own little universe, you might be able to actually affect the universe we live in through, like, you know, it's like almost like I create a universe at my desktop, and now I can like manipulate the world we live in through this mini, you know, microcosm version of the universe that
Uh-huh.
you know, that we live in. So it's kind of like you how do I say it? It's like you know, you playing with your you playing with your little experiment down here, and you know, you poking and prodding at it, and then all of a sudden this big gigantic fucking version of what you're doing is doing the same thing at the same time, if that makes sense. So it's almost like they're creating a little universe and then trying to control the main universe that we live in through the small one. If
Gotcha.
that makes sense, trying to play God. In other
yeah.
words, trying to play God. You know what I'm saying?
hmm And that's another thing, you know. Are they trying to play God, or is it that we are of God, so they, you know, they think they can do certain things or whatever?
It's like detective work trying to like actually like see God for real.
Uh, we created in His image or in their image, whichever version of the Bible you're reading.
And
You
then
know,
maybe if they think they can accomplish that, maybe that's a form of trying to debunk that there is no God. You know what I'm saying?
Mm,
Like maybe that's the whole purpose. Like maybe somebody's is so determined to prove that there's no God that they would even go this
yeah,
far. You know what I'm saying?
right.
nah, because like you calling these particles the God particle and stuff like that. So what
Ah,
they're not able to do,
true.
that's kind of like bringing, you know, all the power of God to like, you know, a thing that you can
Yeah,
say
to
that's
one
God.
little
You know what
thing
I'm
you can
saying?
something you can touch.
But
Yeah.
it's
Right.
also these, like you said, this is a these people are trying to, you know what I'm saying, they're cult esque, right? They're
Hmm.
trying to summon evil spirits, and what I would see if Satan wanted us to realize that, oh, well, you can be your own God, you know what I'm saying? You can create
Exactly.
your own universe. You can
Exactly.
do
Yeah.
exactly what God did.
Exactly.
God
And I
created
think
this universe. Why don't you go create your own? You can do it.
I think that's the
Mm,
prime motivation behind all of this, because if you really pay attention to everything in the world, it seems that everything that's being normalized goes against, you know, the natural order. Like everything that
Exactly.
God created and everything that's being normalized now in society is like is perverted. Everything is upside down. You know, it's like even what they say, even what is it? One of those satanic symbols is it's the cross upside down. It's everything is upside. You know what I'm saying? It's like
Mhm.
that's what they stand for. So if you're trying to you know, like you were saying, you playing God, I think that's like probably as satanic as you
Yeah.
can get. You know what I'm saying? You can try to create your own little universe. It's like, nah, the universe is already here for you. What you want to create your own for? Like who you think you are. You
Right.
know, and just even that arrogance of man to even attempt that. That's part of why, you know, the why we're eventually, you know, we're going to meet our demise, you know, because you know we out of pocket. You know what I'm saying? So you know,
I don't know though, but is it really satanic though? You know, because I mean, God gave us these gifts to figure
I
this
mean,
shit
but I
out.
think
Give
that
us the
I,
gifts to, you know,
I
to do
think that,
this.
but I think just because you can don't mean that you should, though. I think that's
Exactly.
the whole purpose of being
I get
human.
that.
That's exactly
I get that.
what the that's definitely what the Satan would say. Like, oh well, if God said that, you know, why would this plant be here if it was forbidden? You know, like God
Exactly.
put this plant here for a
That's what
reason.
I was gonna
Why
say.
don't you
Adam
go
and
try
Eve.
this?
That
I
whole
get
Yeah,
it.
that's
story.
exactly what that is. It's the same
That
shit.
whole
Like just
story.
because we can don't mean we should. And I think that's just the whole part of being balanced and having discipline. I think that's, you know, something that, you know, we lack in the day. Everything is be who you want to be, do what you want to do, no rules, no boundaries. Like, nah, it's certain shit we're not supposed to be doing. And playing God is definitely one we're not supposed to be doing. You know, so
Yeah, I agree with that 100%. I mean, like just because, I mean, shit. Just because you have the knowledge and the power, just don't mean that you should supposed to be fucking.
And
with
they
shit
even
like that.
and they even say, Satan is the light bearer, so he gives you, he's bringing you knowledge, and sometimes maybe we're not supposed to know everything. You know what I'm saying? It's like sometimes you can have
Maybe.
so much knowledge to the point where you can, do the wrong thing. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? So, it's like I wouldn't have even gone down that path if I didn't know that existed. You know what I'm saying? But now that
Exactly.
I know that existed, now I have that temptation to do the wrong thing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's like if murder never existed, I would never think of killing people. But now that it does, now I'm thinking about killing people. You know.
So are those is it those like memories? Is that demonic?
What you mean? What kind of memories? What do you mean?
Those false memories that were, I don't know.
I mean, I think lying is a form is demonic, right? Like to a
Right.
certain extent, you know. Because they be lying like shit. They be lying to us like a motherfucker.
But is this proof of having parallel universes though? Like seeing these evidences of a Mandela effect, seeing there's a Shazam or certain shit spelled a certain way when it wasn't spelled a certain way. Is that evidence of parallel, regardless of what happened? If you believe the Cern or travel, time travel, any of that shit, is this evidence of a parallel universe?
It's possible. I would probably put it to time travel. I would yeah, I would expect us to be able to time travel before we able to just go to parallel universes and do
I'm
whatever the
not
fuck.
saying go.
You
I
know?
mean just the presence of a parallel universe.
Yeah,
'Cause
yeah, yeah.
I feel like when you be having deja vu, I think that's like evidence of parallel universe. Like for sure you haven't done something before, but you have
I
feelings
think
of that being done before.
Or you feel like you or you met somebody and you feel like you met them before, or
Right.
they
When
seem familiar, even though
damn well it's not the
yeah.
case.
When that happens, I mean, and I'm not disagreeing with you because I actually do think that's a possibility. But I'm just saying what happens. What I be thinking that must be from like a past life or
Yeah.
somebody that maybe in a different, like you were saying, a different time and space. I may have met this person. I just can't put it together. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, maybe that has to do with the the concept of us existing in this multi
Everywhere.
and everywhere and just
Yeah.
there's
At the
like
same
a
time.
million multiples of us at the same time, different places.
And it kind of seeps through sometimes here and there.
Yeah. So yeah,
That's
I
why.
mean, but there there are different dimensions though. That is proven.
Yeah, yeah, that's fact. That's
That's
factory.
fact.
Yeah.
Because it's just like how you get there. Like certain dimensions can only be, you know what I'm saying? Like your consciousness can only go to certain dimensions. Your energy can, you know what I'm saying? That's like when you say you die and you go to heaven, or like you're altering your consciousness, your spirit is that's a different form. You know what I'm saying? It's not physical, it's spirit. You know, that is you who's to say that you aren't going through a portal into a you know what I'm saying into a different
Yeah.
shit. You know, I don't know.
no, I know what you're saying though.
It's all
I mean, I do
speculative.
agree that people do live in different times and space, like at the same time. I do agree with that. I think like you that example you used earlier was perfect. I think like you'll be in a room and it feels like you might have been there for an hour, but you was there for 4, and then somebody else actually felt like they was there for the whole 4 fucking hours. You know what I'm saying? And
Mhm.
I think that's definitely people do exist in different times and space at the same time. I do believe that.
Yeah. Yeah, the dimension is. I mean, we learned that in elementary school when we just drawn. You know what I'm saying? You drawing one dimensional, two dimensional, whatever, 3D dimensional. Y'all was doing the boxes. You know, the 3D dimensional boxes of
Mhm.
shit in elementary or whatever. The dimensions is definitely fact. The
Shit.
it's just a parallel universe thing that's I don't know. I don't know how we can prove it. I don't know how it can be proved, but it's definitely a possibility. It's definitely a possibility. That's why I'm conflicted on whether.
Do you think the universe is infinite?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it would have to
Yeah.
because you can't.
Definitely.
There's no final number. There's no
Right.
like how like the alphabet is from A to Z. All you can do, you add one more to everything, and boom, it just keeps going to add one more. Keeps going, add one more.
How many
It's
times
infinite.
quote unquote scientists say that they find another habitable planet like Earth? What if that's just like Earth north?
Ever
You know
expanding.
what I'm saying? Like
It could, yeah, it could be.
And where you doing the same thing, and it's like,
and it's probably in a totally different universe.
Yeah, so it could be a bunch, and you have like a connection to it because it's like it's still you, but it's just you in a different time and space.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, bro.
Yeah.
Well, you also got to understand that like something that. Put it like this: the universe isn't the same size as it was a billion years ago. It's expanding.
It's constantly expanding.
You know what I'm saying?
Constantly.
So at a certain point, like right now, we could say, okay, the universe is this big. But by the time you say that, it's now gotten bigger. And then by the time you say that, it just keeps continuously getting bigger. Now, with that being said, I do think that the things that have already been created within the universe versus something that at the expansion point of the universe from the very beginning to where it's further expanded at right now, I do think that it gets less and less I guess you could say stronger, if you will. You know what I'm saying? Like it's weakened, its expansion is weakened. So maybe the things that it's creating or that is being created isn't as attached to the source as like we are, if that makes any sense. You know what I'm saying?
Are you saying like the further it stretches out, the further away it gets from the source? It's like
Exactly.
Thins out. Yeah, I mean,
And maybe
I
that's
think
why.
But go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, and maybe that's why we may be getting, I don't know, dumber over time. Like we losing our powers because you know what I'm saying? It's like we were these beings of, you know what I'm saying, enlightened beings, just able to do all of these things. And like maybe we're just like the universe is expanding and we aren't, you know what I'm saying, and we're expanding with it rather than staying connected to the source or like where we were. We much rather go explore out there rather than be right here in this. I don't know.
I was thinking about this. It's kind of closely related, but not really. But do you feel like, as generations, like, go on and go on, like we're getting dumber because like we're not like that root race that was here? As far as like spirituality and feelings and mental capabilities and shit like that, like we're advanced as far as like this shit like Cern and hydrogen colliders and all that type shit,
technology
and iPhones and all shit like that. But as far as like
mentally
and spiritually, like generation, we're getting dumber because like we're, I don't know.
It's the technology. It's the technology that makes us dumber.
It's watering us down.
Yeah, we don't have to do shit.
Like technology is like we're getting further and further away from like that root race that, however you think, like we can.
Yeah, I'm saying because of technology.
You're basically saying like what we were like in our most natural, being existence. You know what I'm saying? Like before we were influenced by anything.
Yeah.
But
we didn't have calculators to figure out what the fuck pi was and all this other shit.
Remember, that's why they was looking up in the stars and the skies and astrology and all this other shit that was.
We don't gotta do that shit no more.
Or even like what if it was like even more like I don't know, like tapped in or supernatural, like in the beginning, and then like just because they're saying like, oh, Adam and Eve, pretty much populated the earth and shit like that. But like on some like inbred shit almost, like are we the result of that? Like people today?
What do you mean?
Because like how two people populate the earth, right? Like if you believe in like all that stuff, and say now if a mother and a son have a baby, it's gonna be special. It's gonna be retarded and shit like that. But like back
Oh,
then,
the incest. Okay.
yeah. So like back then, if there's like only select few people on the planet, and then these people are living, 800 years or whatever shit like that, and they are more connected, to the earth and whatnot, and they having babies. So like we're the result of like some inbred shit. Do that make sense?
I see what you're saying, but I also think that I think also at a there was a point in time in our history as humans, if we're going biblically, that humans fought they fell under a different set of rules. God had a
Principles.
different
Yeah.
set of laws. You know what I'm saying? The laws was different. You know what I'm saying? And you know what I'm saying? I don't know.
Yeah. Religion changed a lot of stuff too. Yeah. Religion
You
changed a lot
know?
of principles, whether Christianity, Muslim,
I'm just talking
whatever.
about the quality of human.
Like back in the day when
Yeah.
like thought like when thought existed and shit like
Yeah,
that. Like
right. And they're
Yeah.
building,
The
these
thinking man.
megaliths. They're building these megaliths of, they building Atlantis, they building Egypt. Like they don't still know what, these pyramids do.
I see
In
what you're saying for sure.
Mexico, they build these like pyramids that's bigger than Egypt. You know what I mean? Like it was a different type of human back then. So like as time went on and you're having offsprings and it's only a select few people on the planet, like are we the
Offsprings
inbred?
of the dumb.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
I
You
got
just
you. I see what you're
Spiritually,
saying.
not necessarily the inbred, but just offsprings of the
I'm just
dumbasses.
hey, I'm
That's
just
what you're
saying.
saying?
Yeah.
Because I don't. Yeah. I don't. Yeah. I don't know about that inbred shit, but
Are we the West Virginians of the
but
human race?
and I said I don't know about that inbred shit, but that shit was common. That shit was common because they wanted to keep the even with the
Bloodline,
royal
right?
folks. Yeah, even with the royal people, they wanted to keep the bloodlines. You
Hmm.
know, they got the blue bloods and all that shit. That's a good ass fucking question. That's a good. Are we? So are we the bloodline of the dumbasses? Is what you're
but it's
saying?
so funny because when you hear about like some of these stories about like the gods like Zeus and like these niggas was like having babies with their sons and mothers
Right.
and you know what I'm saying? Like they was
Right.
if you look at those like those stories, like they was all like, having children with everybody. Like,
And the
the
question
mom
is,
was a
are those
mom and
just
sister at the same time.
Yeah, but, and the question is, are those just like stories? Are those fairy tales?
I
You
mean, I'm
know?
just saying, but if maybe that's how the world was back then or something, because they was make they the way
Oh
they.
yeah.
I remember middle schools when we was like learning about like Greek mythology and shit. It was like they was telling us these stories like that's just how it was. Like there was never no question of like, oh, Helen was the mother of Athena and also the sister of it was like hold on like
Right.
they like that shit sound like some inbred shit. But
Yeah.
yeah, so.
And it's still out here. It ain't like it just disappeared. It's still out here. Folks still doing shit like that. So hmm, that's a good question. That's a good question, Remy. I would hope to think not. Shit. Definitely after watching that video, they said half of the world's physicists work for goddamn Cern. So I would,
It's like the NBA of
yeah,
wild shit.
we got to
And
have
then,
some smart motherfuckers out there trying.
and then plus I think even just the way that we're even just processed, you know what I'm saying, from the time we're born, we go to school and we get, indoctrinated with all this shit. So it's let's say back in the day, like they weren't being indoctrinated like almost like on some conveyor belt shit. Like, we come out the womb, we go to school, we follow the holidays, we watch the TV shows. So our whole perspective is being
Fitting
molded
that
and
matrix.
in a certain into the matrix exactly. And maybe these people that from the past they didn't have that matrix to mold their mind into. So it's like they were probably just learning about just universal law. They was watching how the shit just naturally moved, and then they determined this is how life should move just based off that. But us, we don't even take the time to even understand the world that's around us because we know we chasing money and all kinds of shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like we got
Cool as a
jobs to
joke.
do. We got our favorite shows on Netflix and shit like that. Like niggas ought to be taking out the time to, you know, really understand the world. Like, you know, these people from the past created astrology and mathematics and language and the alphabet and shit. Like, ain't no modern day nigga doing no shit like that. There's too many options for us these days. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, obviously people these days ain't gonna be as smart as the past because I think we have way more distractions than they had back then. You know, these niggas didn't even have TV back then. They ain't have cell phones, they ain't have shit. All they could do is probably look up
They
in the
had love and hip
stars,
hop.
and see how that relates to us on the ground. They could probably figure that
Yeah,
out when you ain't
you're
got
right.
you ain't got as many distractions.
I agree
Exactly.
because it and the crazy thing is, let's just say by chance that the laws of the universe have changed, but we are so disconnected from
The universe.
nature and you know what I'm
Nature.
saying, us,
Yeah.
our true selves, that we wouldn't even be able to comprehend that the change has happened. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, the universal
Yeah.
laws ain't really supposed to change those. They're supposed to be remaining the same. Like even when they
Yeah.
you know, I guess if you look into it, you know, it's like this basically like, and if it was to change, then who was the person that actually decided to make that change? You see what I'm saying? Because even from the back in the beginning of time, even always to now, those universal laws still apply the same. You see what I'm saying? Like like
Yeah.
this mutable and immutable laws. Certain things just can't change. It's like I mean, yeah. So I mean, you see what I'm trying to say is
I
like
see what you're saying. I'm talking about more of, I guess maybe not universal laws. I'm talking about, all right, you know how like you know how like there's like like in the Bible there's a New Testament and there's an Old Testament. There was certain
We're supposed to do away with the Old Testament.
like you're supposed to, you do away with those laws, you do away with those
Right.
that thinking, and and it changed. You see what I'm
Right.
saying? There was a shift in the way that,
Continents or
you know what I'm saying. I don't know
Yeah.
what it was, but if something like that were to happen now, we wouldn't even recognize that shit, that something like that were
Yeah.
to happen, because we're
what
so
I
disconnected.
agree with that. I agree with that.
what if that was what if that was even a like it's like kind of like, you know, everybody read the Old Testament and then it's like they just took all the Old Testament, gave them the New Testament, and was like, what Old Testament? That never existed. You know what I'm saying? Like it could be some shit like that. Like
That's the next Mandela effect.
yeah, that could have been the Mandela
The
effect back
ultimate.
then. Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
The ultimate Mandela. Here's the
But
King James version.
yeah, I don't know. A lot of that Mandela effect shit, I feel like a lot of it can be just people fucking with your head. You know what I'm saying? You know, somebody could show you a picture of, you might have grew up your whole life thinking your grandfather looked a certain way, and then somebody showed you a picture and be like, "No, that's your grandfather." And now you sitting there thinking, "The fuck no!" You know what I'm saying? Like now somebody's fucking with your head, and you're thinking, "Oh, nah, that's the Mandela effect. They're not just playing with my head." You know what I'm saying? It's like, nah, maybe somebody's just fucking with you. Because all you gotta do,
Like you might
all
be
I'm saying
right.
is all you gotta do is just take an image and create a narrative about it, and then, you know, attach somebody to that, and you can do that about anything. You can literally take anything. I could fucking somebody could say overtime was OVR, you know what I'm saying, instead of OVER, and now you gonna actually believe that if they tell you that shit over and over and over again.
You know what's funny? It's like Mandela effect is like a stream. It's like a trending thing on TikTok, and it's, you know what I'm saying. It's like it's a, you know what I'm saying. Like I asked my daughter, I was like, you know what the Mandela effect? She was like, yeah. You know what I'm saying? That's like,
Is that a psyop?
she's 11. You know what I mean? Like she's 11, and that's something that's trending. So who's to say that's like, oh, okay, well we could change things and just say in the name of the Mandela effect. You know what I'm saying? Just like,
you can literally change the narrative. You can literally change anything and just be like, that's the Mandela effect. Like somebody like that Chick-fil-A picture, that CHIC is how at least I've always remembered it. And somebody can just tomorrow put out a picture and say, nah, it's always been with a K. And then I'm sitting there like, was it with a K? Even though I know damn well that shit was a C the entire fucking time. And that's what I mean. Is like, just people can just fuck with your head just like that. It's just that simple.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, even like with my conversation with her, she made it seem as if the Pikachu that I grew up with was the same Pikachu that she grew up with. You see what I'm saying? Like, but she was like, "Isn't that crazy?" I'm like, "Wait a minute, you wasn't around when Pokemon first came out."
Exactly. These cards
So
was
you see
hidden.
the mindset.
lit.
The mindset. The mindset is like they've already like gotten them thinking that like, oh well, this must be true when you didn't even exist at that point in time. But why do you think that this is real?
But do you think that maybe this is Mandela effect might be some shit that's preparing us for fake news? You know what I'm saying? Like maybe it just could have been the setup. You know what I'm saying? And like now we just, now what happened yesterday doesn't even matter anymore because it's all about today's narrative.
That is that.
Yeah,
hey,
I think that's what D was saying earlier. Yeah.
It's not what happened, is what people believe, right? It's not about what happened, it's about what people believe happened.
So by doing that, you
that's
change
scary.
reality.
So you exactly. I think that takes us all the way back to the beginning of the conversation.
Yeah, exactly. You change the reality.
Now you change in reality. You change people's perspective. You change in reality. What happened yesterday, what happened 10 minutes don't matter if the overall consensus is, whatever everybody else is saying.
Take it back to Denzel, man. Take it back to Denzel and Training Day. It don't matter. It don't matter what's the truth. It's what you can prove. What you can prove. I've been playing this shit all week, son. Walking little baby nuts around in the corner.
So honestly, now if we, and I think you was kind of alluding to this earlier, Brian, but it's like now what happened before, what happened yesterday don't mean shit. It's all about what you believe in the present. I think even just in general, when they say if you want to manifest something, you know what I'm saying, it's like you have to tell yourself certain things over and over again, repeat certain mantras, and that shit could be a complete fucking lie. But if you tell yourself that shit enough, you'll start to believe it. It taps into your subconscious mind, and now you acting out some shit. You know what I'm saying? That you probably wouldn't have been doing not too long ago before that.
Right.
But it's all about you. Like I've read multiple things. It's like, if you had a bad experience in the past and it haunts you, just change your memory about what happened in the past, and then your whole connection to it will change. So that's how powerful the mind is. You can literally make yourself believe any fucking thing.
Shit, you can make yourself. You can call out of work sick. Fuck around and be like, damn.
Am I sick?
Am I sick?
Yeah.
Like start coughing and shit.
Exactly. Then you start believing that shit.
Gave yourself symptoms and shit. Like what the
you start believing that shit. And I mean, we kind of saw this shit with COVID because the same symptoms that you would have had, the same symptoms that you would have had when you had a cold or flu. Or not even the flu, just the cold. You would have been like, all right, I got a little cold.
Psyching yourself out.
But like now, niggas is like, oh shit, am I dying? Like, But 2 years ago, those same symptoms, you would have been like, all right, I got a little cold. Let me go drink some ginger ale.
Right, this ain't
lay down
shit
for a little bit. You know what I'm saying? I'll be all right in a day or two.
The heat to kill it.
But them same feelings that you had now after the whole COVID shit, niggas thought they was about to die. And I mean, I'm not. Don't get me wrong, because obviously people did lose their life, and those same symptoms did lose to people. But you get my point. Like, in general, overall, because of the narrative behind it, you started to look at symptoms of the common cold, a lot differently. So,
and that's basically what they did. They hijacked the same symptoms and they put it all in together under one roof. But, all right, here I got a little interesting video. Somebody shared on Twitter. So he's basically using an old phone, and you can see the Mandela effect in real time by using the old phone. You can see the. See with the slash, and then boom.
The fuck?
Oh, he's taking a picture of the shit.
Mm-hmm.
And then when he remember the pictures, wow, interesting.
Was that BlackBerry? Yeah.
Verizon Joe. Old school flip phone. Is that a flip phone?
That's a little BlackBerry with the little rolling cursor.
Palm Pilot. Yeah, I had one of those.
The little rolling cursor. Yeah. Yeah.
Interesting.
You know what's interesting too, though? Just how like it sounds bad or it sounds like in a negative way when you say ritual, like just going back to the whole religion thing. When you say like, oh, these people are doing rituals and X, Y, and Z, and it sounds bad, you know what I'm saying? Like a ritual, like what are they doing? They summoning X, Y, and Z, and they do, you know. But in turn, I remember doing the same thing, like same
That's-
things in church. You know what I'm saying? Like communion, where you drink
Yeah, the blood.
wine, the blood. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, I don't know.
It's just a word, but at the end of the day, I don't maybe not. I want to say the media, but maybe movies and stuff put a bad image as far as the word ritual. You know,
yeah, because your
yeah,
intentions, of course, is
yeah.
your
The intentions is the
your
intentions.
intentions are
Yeah,
pure, of course.
hmm
But just to,
yeah, because folks
I
have
mean,
ritual. It is the
you hope
intentions because
that
you have
your intentions
rituals.
are pure. You
Right.
hope
Yeah,
that what you're doing is pure. You
Because
know
you
what I'm
could be
saying?
doing some wild shit and you can
You
be
don't
like,
know,
yeah.
right? Of
Not
course.
saying that's doing wild shit. I'm just saying, regardless, you could be doing wild shit and people are thinking like, oh, you know what I'm saying?
but now
Right.
folks,
And
folks
I've
have
even learned that there are certain yoga poses that you
Right. Yeah.
technically shouldn't do. Because
oh yeah,
those are ritualistic
demonic.
You're
and
opening it up. Yeah.
demonic. Yeah, you opening yourself up to when you do certain bodily poses. Just like remember in Dragon Ball Z when they did the fusion shit
The
and they
fusion
was
joint, yeah.
yeah, and they was doing
That was a ritual though.
When they
It's
kept
funny
doing the
how you
exactly.
dance
say
or
it because
whatever.
the way it looked even in the cartoon, they did like a dance. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Then they would like touch
they had to do it
fingers
like
like
5
this,
times.
like
Yep.
it was crazy though. Like you're 100% correct. That's exactly what that shit was.
Mm-hmm. Oh, shit.
Yo, Dragon Ball Z had so much like shit in it that could tie into like the universe and
Yeah,
spirituality like
Yeah.
that cartoon was deep, man.
it was.
It wasn't even really a kid cartoon. That shit was like an adult saga for real.
It was.
It really wasn't even like it was kind of advanced for real.
It was.
And it was about black folks, if y'all ain't know.
You said it's about black people.
It's about black folks. The ancients.
All I know is that I wanted to go Super Saiyan for so many years.
Yeah.
Evolution of time. It's like really crazy.
Yep.
But even like on here it says last Thursdayism is an idea that the universe was created last Thursday, but with the physical appearance of being billions of years old.
Mm-hmm.
What
You know
episode?
what I'm
is that?
saying? So it's like we kind of 25. What's up, P?
I like researching like paradoxes, like because of like it shows you like the difference in time and shit.
Right.
Okay, so for instance, they were saying even with the whole Trump administration and shit, they say we were in like a time warp during that time. Matter of fact, if you have your ask Siri right now, how many days till 2021, and she'll probably tell you like 200 something, like
Hey,
right now.
Siri.
Hey Siri, how many days
How
till
many days till
2021?
2021?
Yeah, shit.
It's 345 days until then.
Yeah, right. So they said last year we were actually in a time warp, and it
Oh,
wasn't even
shit.
2020. Yeah, like we're still going towards 2021. I was reading this article and shit. It was like we were in a different paradox, like alternate universe. So all that shit that was happening wasn't
Look at
even
our
like really
faces.
happening. Like, okay, so remember you
That's
breaking
what I'm saying.
down-
That's what this shit
Hey,
is. Yeah.
Why is
Yeah,
it showing
remember
my
you-
phone though? Why
Yep, exactly. Y'all about to fuck me
I
up.
don't know.
'cause that-
like remember when
Yeah, we go.
Oh,
I remember we
man.
touched on this before.
Had us fucked up in the game for
Uh-huh.
like 2 minutes. Like, hold on, wait, what happened?
That's wild though.
What
Man.
That's wild. Yeah, that is crazy.
But I was listening to this podcast like last week saying like the whole 2020 shit had a close relation to how Saturn had like some type of close encounter to Pluto, and it caused like some type of shift in 2020. And even like you know, elites and powers that be knew the shit was gonna happen, so they you know had some grand plan to make that shit happen.
Well, so you also got to understand is that in a lot of rituals, in a lot of rituals or ceremonies or whatever, they use, you know what I'm saying, there may be artifacts, right? And what if planets are just the universe's artifacts? And when, you know what I'm saying, and when they come, when these artifacts line up or align in a certain way, certain shit happens. You know?
Makes sense.
Because in some books they relate to planets being like people. Or planets have certain energies, or planets are, you know what I'm saying?
Living.
Like,
they're
these are living, breathing things, you know what I'm saying? So it would make sense if one is next to the other or aligned with another one. Like, okay, this is the time of this shit should happen, or this opens up this gateway or energy field or whatever have you. You know
why
what
they
I'm
do it
saying?
on equinoxes and shit like that, or why like certain like rituals or murders and shit happen on certain parallels. Like they say, like that 33rd parallel, a lot of shit be happening there.
Just like, I mean, that's not fun.
These motherfuckers know what they doing, man. Bottom line, they know what they doing. So
yeah, they got that sacred knowledge, man, and it's just like they not used. Their intentions aren't good, which sucks. Because if the intentions were good, then everybody would be involved in this shit. You know what I'm saying? But yet it's behind closed doors, secret societies and shit. Like if your intentions were pure, be like, yo, come and let me show you this. You know what I'm saying? It's not like that at all. It's a secret. It's all secrecy.
Knowledge
you know
is power. So, you know, if they keep that knowledge to themselves, then they'll always maintain some level of power over the people who don't have that information.
Yeah.
You know, it's all about control and shit.
Right. And then you look at all these institutions and organizations, and it's always, you know, some type of, you know, Vatican trace. So, and then they got all the books and miles and miles and miles underneath of, you know, all this stuff. So makes sense. Makes sense. I got a couple articles. Also got a couple videos. Simo, that video I sent you the other day, the if you want to believe it. It's saying it's like some type of divine intervention happening over there in the war.
Yeah, pull it up.
Fuck you talking about? Look at this.
Fire at night and confuse Russian troops. It has some asking, are Ukrainians receiving heavenly help? On this week's episode of The Global Lane, CBN's Ukraine director explains although his fellow countrymen are showing incredible strength and resilience in the war with Russia, they're also seeing some divine intervention.
How have you seen God intervene on behalf of the Ukrainian people? What do you know? What can you share?
And he picks up his phone and he calls his
symbol
father.
on the tank. I ain't peeped that.
You have to pray right now. We're in a situation. So his father, he rings to other members of the church. They start praying. And then later, son gives a phone call and he says, there's some miracle happened. It looked like some spaceship, like there was like an attack from the spaceship. There was some kind of a lightning was starting shooting from the sky, and like sparks were like spreading everywhere. And then on the morning they discovered that the whole machinery was destroyed. So they, like, all of those soldiers, they thought maybe it was done by some kind of a weapon that we didn't know about, or it was just God's intervention.
Man, that was the X-Men. That's what the fuck that was. That was a fucking, what's her name? What's the chick, the little the Marvel character?
Storm.
Yeah, it was one of them or some shit like that. Now, Storm is African, ain't she?
Yeah, she everywhere though.
I'm talking the one from Ukraine and shit. One of them, you know them.
Oh, I know you talk about.
What was it? WandaVision? Or I mean, what's her name? Maximoff. What's her name? I can't think of her name. Maxim, some shit. The Scarlet, the
Scarlet, yeah, Scarlet Witch.
Scarlet Witch, yeah.
Yeah, she about to be in the Doctor Strange one too.
Hey, but for real, what if there really is like some Avengers, X-Men niggas like that only show up in like times of war? You know, like you just never
Didn't they
know.
always say that? Like when there was like shit going down, there was like, you know, wars in the sky and stuff like that. Or
yeah.
Hey,
since thousands of years ago in
that
India.
Eternals joint.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
I saw that joint again.
Yeah, it was a good movie.
It wasn't that good of a movie, but the message in it was deep.
Maybe that's what it was.
Like, oh shit.
But they do talk about, you know, the wars in the sky and Will of Ezekiel and all type shit like that, or even like in what is it, like Indian culture, the Vimanas and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're little spaceships.
Mm-hmm. Or even like in, you know, they said that the whole weapons of mass destruction, you know, invasion, all that type stuff. That was just, you know, taking control of ancient technology. Or they said like the Stargate. There's a Stargate over there. Saddam had a Stargate, and they wanted to take over that shit. You never hear that?
Nah, I ain't heard that. It's believable though. It's believable.
Because, you know, I mean that's like the whole Mesopotamia area, this Anunnaki, you know.
Yeah.
Y'all remember the movie what's the joint with the white chick? They created that it was like a thing. It was like moving like this. A white chick. They would contact.
Jodie Foster.
Jodie Foster. That was a good one.
And that motherfucker was like, remember, and her perception of time when she was falling through the joint. Everybody saw her falling through, and the clip lasted like 19 seconds, but she had a whole experience,
a whole 3-4 hours.
You know what I'm saying? But that was quote unquote supposed to have been some sort of alien message or divine intervention, because even remember the one dude, he blew the shit up in the name of religion. The first time that they
that was the first machine.
He blew this shit up because so I don't know, man. Religion is tied to a lot of shit when it comes to science and religion. Do you think that they can coexist? Like science and religion, can they coexist?
Yeah. I believe they have before, but I don't know what the fuck is going on now. But
I was always thinking, like, under the impression, like, for like major advancements, it has to coexist.
Yeah.
Like, but in the name of science or in the name of God, though?
Well, that's a good question.
It's all your intentions.
Yeah.
Because, like, I mean, you know, the whole space race and shit, like, they, you know, you putting jet fuel on a fucking metal tube and shit like that. Like, that's like primitive almost. Like, you got to have some type of, I don't know. Like, wouldn't it be easier to kind of like tap in and astral project somewhere rather than
physically doing all that dangerous shit?
Right. So I don't know. Or is it like
strapping your ass with a stick of dynamite?
Right. A marriage in between both. You don't know.
But, you know, it's so crazy that you say that, though, because if we could have the power to astral project, you know, instead of, like you said, getting attaching fucking rocket fuel to a goddamn tube, like, then there's no way we'd be living in this state where, like, you know, this 9-to-5 shit, like, nigga, I can astral project anywhere in the universe. Like, why the fuck would I have a job? Why would I be stressing over, you know, human dogmatic shit? You know what I'm saying? It's like, just think about that shit. Like, of course, we're not supposed to have that knowledge or even think that we're capable of these things. You know what I'm saying? Because we wouldn't be living in the system. Like, that right there alone would eliminate the entire concept of living in the system. Because we can literally go any fucking where in the universe.
Yeah.
So, You know,
and that ain't because of
wouldn't need
God.
me,
That's
wouldn't
because
need
of man.
machines, wouldn't need shit. You know what I'm saying? It'd just be all just human, spiritual power. It'd be
I'll be
straight
right
that,
Yeah.
back.
nothing else, nothing else.
I'll be right back.
Mhm.
That's
All right,
some,
I'm back.
but that's some Dragon Ball Z shit too. So
True.
It
Yeah.
is though.
It
Exactly.
is.
It is. But for real, that's probably one of the best examples.
And isn't it funny how Goku was the only one that could do it because he mastered it? Like he was like special in his own right.
But you know the craziest thing about this nigga Goku, like this nigga was always like cheerful, young, like the world about to end, niggas about to die, and he just come out like, "Hey guys," you know what I'm saying? Like, but like he was like the strongest nigga in the universe, but he was like always fucking kind of like just
green.
happy go lucky.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Like, and that's
yeah.
the craziest thing about his character the whole time. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't even like this menacing guy. You know what I'm saying? That's the
That's
wildest
true.
part.
And the menacing guy, which was like what was his name? Vegeta, he was always
That was my
one step
dog. He wasn't
behind.
missing. He wasn't
And
missing.
then it's
That's my
like,
dog.
and it wasn't funny that it wasn't until Vegeta realized that he was so focused on Goku. Like his first time going Super Saiyan, he couldn't go Super Saiyan because he was focused on the wrong thing.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? It's like, oh shit. It was so, like you said, there's so many lessons in that joint, yo. It's ridiculous. Shout out to DBZ, yo.
Frieza, Cell.
You say what?
Think they would do a live action jump?
That'd be
good.
That'd be hard to do though. I feel like
they would have to come.
The special effects in that joint would have.
Nah, it ain't gonna be that hard. Because Mortal Kombat, the original Mortal Kombat was dope, and they didn't have the over the top special effects.
I feel like the special effects in Dragon Ball Z is wild though. They had to like go to space.
Nobody in Mortal Kombat flying.
Niggas
well,
flying.
Yeah, you definitely got to
niggas
fight
flying
in the air
and all kind of fighting in the sky and.
Yeah,
they would have to use Marvel Studios. They would have to do a deal with like Marvel or something to make that shit look just crazy.
Bomb, my nigga.
Man, they can fight in the air a little bit. What we got?
Oh,
building a digital twin.
Oh yeah.
You're a particular, yeah, okay. So they can map out some shit.
Right.
I noticed it's
you probably got digital twin out here.
Probably. I noticed it's a sphere and
What
not
does
a
the word
flat
meta
earth.
mean? What does meta mean?
I'm not mistaken.
After.
Past, present, future.
Yeah, beyond, after, and behind.
Solar flat earth.
No.
That's wild.
So all right, this is built to it like a
quantum
computer, yeah. If they present it like this, I could see like the benefits, but I know they're not using it for any benefits. Because this is on their website.
It looks so nice though.
Right.
Nah, man, don't believe that shit.
And they had the nice music.
I don't believe that shit, dog.
And weather being controlled like shit.
Whole reality, we no.
Man, trying to tell you, I think a lot of times we be like 20, 30, 40 years behind and shit. Like these niggas probably been controlling the weather. They probably, you know what I'm saying? Like
we are, yeah.
Like we like everything we going through right now is probably was somebody like, you know, signed the paper and was like, yeah, we gonna do that like 50 years ago.
Yeah. We,
bro,
like, I'm
which is
1,000% we control the weather just because, you know, we did a little episode and they said in the UN you can't use it against any other country. So why would they even put that shit in there? You can't use weather warfare on another country.
Nigga.
That means they can do it.
Which means these wildfires and all sorts of shit like that.
That means they wanted it to happen because if you can make it rain anytime,
they slam just allowing that shit to happen.
Yeah. Yep.
Was it Japan been making it rain over that joint?
Dubai make it rain every week.
Yeah.
And it'll tell you.
So this is all a simulation.
It's dry as fuck over there.
This is all
But this is what I was talking about. The whole weapons of mass destruction shit.
Okay, for the Stargate joint.
Mm-hmm. Hidden beneath the dark ziggurat of Inzu.
And the Stargate is nothing but a portal.
Mm-hmm. Which
A
was
means-
once the lair of
means
the
to
notorious
access- yeah.
Sumerian sorcerer Gimil Ishbi.
And of course it would be over there.
Damn, okay. Talk about the Nephilim
They out here.
and the Elohim, which is in the Bible. Nibiru.
Y'all believe in that shit? Planet Nibiru?
Mm-hmm.
But is it a planet or something else? I think it might be something else. Like
Now, look at the bottom. It say in 1991, Nibiru came through the outer solar system, and Anunnaki beings once again visited the Earth.
Shit.
However, an Anunnaki saucer was accidentally shot down by U.S. Air Force during the first Gulf War.
Then they ain't come and fuck our shit up.
Hey, you know what's so crazy? Like, I guess probably a lot of these sightings probably do be happening in times of war because that's probably, you know, the when the most planes and shit be up in the air, so they probably be seeing some wild shit. Like, there's no way you gonna tell me that like all these people, pilots, that's flown through the skies all over the world, and you mean tell me these niggas ain't never seen no?
I mean, like
shit.
the whole little
like, bro. I mean, we just seen the joint, the recent UFO side with some Navy guys, I think.
Right.
Yeah, them motherfuckers was emphatically like, nah, we ain't got no crafts that move
that move like that. Exactly.
We ain't got nothing that move that fast.
And it's funny because when you was listening to their voices, it sounded authentic. It sounded like they were like it was like a scared, excited. It wasn't fear. It was like just adrenaline.
Shit.
You know what I'm saying? It was adrenaline. It was like just pure. That's what it sounded like. Like, god damn.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
So come on, bro. And then think about that shit. And then, man, that's even crazy though, because even with them UFOs, they always see them over bodies of water and shit like that, where we humans don't be at. So these niggas probably could just be all kinds of activity going on over the ocean, and we would never know because there's no people there to see it. You know what I'm saying? And then they probably just, you never know what the fuck is going on this planet.
Dipping in and dipping out of the ocean.
Dipping in and dipping out of the ocean. And then they might have, the thing is, and that's a whole nother conversation, they might actually have the technology that can handle the pressure of the planet. And you never know. There could be a whole civilization, under the sea. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like going through the bottom of the sea, going through that crust or whatever you want to call it. And then there might be a whole nother world down there.
Or universe.
Or universe.
That's just water,
exactly.
though. They got to be able to handle that.
If you go through, and that's the reason. There's a reason why we can't go that deep. Like, but who knows? It's may be a whole nother world down there. You know what I'm saying? Shit's crazy.
Isn't that crazy? Like, we can go to the vast distance of the stars as far as we kind of want to go.
But we can't.
Something right underneath our feet. We can't
only so
obtain
deep
it.
we can go.
That's crazy.
That's crazy.
That's crazy.
Who knows?
Shit.
So
there's got to be a reason.
Like, put it like this:
there's definitely a reason behind it.
If I'm an alien, I'm 100% hiding out down in the ocean. Because these niggas like they can't get down there. Where else?
They got videos of them just going from air to water.
Yeah.
Shit. What's the name of that joint with Tom Cruise? What was the name of that movie?
War of the Worlds.
Yeah, they came from underneath, not above.
Yeah, they was already here.
You know what I'm saying? Like, oh shit.
Or even the last one with the what's that guy? With the
Keanu Reeves,
the White Claws or whatever.
Oh yeah, the joint that was on Amazon.
Yeah.
Sometimes shit they had to jump in ahead of time or whatever.
Exactly.
Yeah. To kill them white alien looking big ass motherfuckers.
The dude that's in Jurassic Park and shit.
And Guardians of the Galaxy.
Right.
remember the movie The Day the Earth Stood Still? With,
Classic.
um,
Either one, original or
isn't it
Keanu
funny
Reeves.
how like other civilizations they look at? Why is it that they always look at Earth as like these motherfuckers? They look at us like with disgust, like these motherfuckers don't know how good they got it. They got this. Our planet, we got our planet. Our planet was all fucked up. Their planet was all nice and habitable and shit. And they just fucked it all up. Look at them. You know what I'm saying? It's like they always got to come and save us from ourselves.
Yeah, but that's what these whole sightings be coming from. Even the one I just
And I be trying to figure out if our shit's so fucked up and y'all so advanced, how the fuck is y'all shit fucked up and y'all so advanced? Like, what the fuck? How y'all able to?
I think that ultimately, at the end of the day, I think humans, we are special in like we are in. I don't know. I feel like we are special when it comes to everything. I don't know. Like we have a special place in history when it comes to like who we are. We just don't realize it.
Flat Earth.
Yeah, I mean, what you mean? As far as
I just feel like when it comes to
like our place on the planet.
No, I
mean
think
just
our
in, like, the overall universe.
I think our place in the overall vast majority of everything in the universe. I think like when like if there was, I guess, quote unquote, let's say if we were like the people of Earth, the humans on Earth are like God's chosen people. Put it like that. And like they're like enamored with us, like, oh my God, you know what I'm saying? They look at us like as like celebrities, and you know what I'm saying? Like, oh my God, like these people are like so connected spiritually, where we're advanced mentally, but these guys are connected spiritually, and they're trying to, I don't know. I do believe that we have.
I heard like their obsession with us is because like we're builders. Like they can.
So what the fuck are they? They ain't building shit that they can go across the goddamn galaxy. So we slaves at the end of the day.
Aliens.
Yeah, their fascination with us is like we're builders, or like we're just a primitive version of what they used to be, and they're so far gone of what they used to be. It's like, reminiscent of what they used to be. Like I guess like their whole, like the transition like we're about to be going through, with like this whole transhuman type movement. Like this is like
they've been through it,
the divide, right here, like this point in time right here, and like all these like divine interventions, like where they interfering on like war, especially like with the whole nuclear thing, because like it was a spike with the whole nuclear, like the Hiroshima shit. Like that's when the sightings was like off the roof.
Yeah.
And there's been times where
that was a beacon.
Like it sent like a ripple through the universe.
Yeah, that was
and
a
then that
beacon
ripple,
right
like had them coming here, and
like, what the fuck y'all doing over here, nigga?
There's even like been cases where they've been they're like over certain nuclear sites, they'll just like disarm the whole shit, like put the codes in, disarm the whole shit. So
just like in what's the joint Justice League when Batman when Superman died, remember that shit? Like as soon as he died, like that ripple effect that went out across the whole universe. It was kind of like that, It's like, okay, everybody heard that joint.
Yeah, man.
But yeah, shit crazy.
Yeah, we can leave it here. I feel like we can build on some shit about this on the next episode.
Well, so basically saying, are there really like some Avengers out here? Are you saying that type of shit?
Are aliens Avengers? I mean, literally, that's what they be showing us sometimes. Thor and Superman and
what I'm saying is, do you think there's like an actual like team that's like, that's on Earth that just come out in certain times? You know what I'm saying? When they feel it's necessary.
It would make sense if they was already here. They can keep close. What they call them, the Watchers, right?
Yeah, basically, pretty much. But it kind of
or the Eternals.
That does exist though, kind of. I mean, at least that's what
the Watchers.
They said. Yeah, the Watchers.
That makes sense.
Oh
So,
yeah, I wouldn't put that past that at all. Shit.
or are they? Have they been here the whole time and kind of guiding humanity in a certain way?
And I've even seen some shit that's basically saying, like you saying, they've always been here, but they've been here through like all through time.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Through like history, they've always been
Mm-hmm.
there. You know,
but like certain treaties or guidelines and rules, you can't intervene too much.
Mm-hmm.
Just like what's her name? Wonder Woman.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? She went through all of those. She's been through all the time periods.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? She's been here the whole time, and she just acts whenever she needs to act.
When shit get real.
Yep.
Yeah, but we can't be wild too much.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, this is, another episode of Overtime, episode 73, Mandela Effect, Paradoxes, Divine Intervention, Time Travel, all that good stuff. Let us know we need to expand on next episode. I kind of like the whole, hidden Stargate and all that type of shit. We can probably do that avenue, or even like Stranger Things and like the like Philadelphia Project or shit like that, Montauk Project, shit like that. That's just kind of cool too, and that kind of ties into Stargate and all that type of
shit. Ghostbusters got some shit like that too.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Remember Stargate SG-1?
I never watched
that show.
There's a show.
I remember that shit. I remember that shit.
I love the movie, but yeah, we can spend on any one of those avenues or all of them. But yeah, it's really pleased of Overtime 73. Yeah, catch you on the flip. If y'all haven't, we have a Patreon. We only have one episode yet, but if we get more subscribers to the Patreon, maybe we add some more episodes to that shit. But yeah, let us know. Let us know topics. Let us know some feedback. All that good stuff. Recommend some movies and documentaries. All that shit. Catch you on the flip.
All right, peace, y'all.
Peace.
Cling.
What the fuck?